Hey everyone, School902 here. The Sonic franchise has a load of satisfactory endings to its games. Titles like 3 and Knuckles, Unleashed, and Frontiers come to mind. But, while those come close, I think one stands above the rest. The plot leading up to it, the characterization and overall presentation make this game's ending the best in the Sonic franchise. That game is Sonic Adventure 2. Why might that be? Here's my take. As Sonic and Shadow get the upper hand on the final hazard, they perform Chaos Control to get rid of the Bio-Lizard and transport the Space Colony Ark back into orbit. The rather fugly early CGI people around the world celebrate as the planet's been saved from destruction, but unbeknownst to them, Shadow has fallen toward the Earth. This affects the mood aboard the space station as Sonic silently reveals that, for all he knows, Shadow didn't make it out alive. And what follows, I think, makes this not just one of the best scenes in the Sonic franchise, but the best ending to any piece of media within it. Everyone is settling down from the life-threatening journey they were just on. After all the fighting, calls for vengeance, and tense situations, everyone in that room has a chance to reflect on what happened, and we don't get to see something like this in the franchise a whole lot, which I think makes it interesting. It's a great show of everyone's characters, too. Maybe except for Tails, whose response to Eggman is optimistic, but a bit on the generic side. Might just be the English version, though. Thankfully, I have a friend who speaks Japanese. Oh, Yancy, could you please tell me what Tails says in the Japanese version?
Oh, sure, he says, Sane Tareke.
Translated to English, please.
Who knows, but what I can say is this. We did it.
So, basically the same thing.
Yes, but with slight differences in the line delivery.
Oh. But let's take a bit of a deeper look into the interactions on display here. Sonic gives Rouge one of Shadow's inhibitor rings, after which she asks if he was really just meant to be an instrument of destruction, which I think serves to show the softer side of hers we see after her fight with Knuckles. She's not just some dismissive, self-absorbed, jewel-obsessed thief. She actually does care about people deep down. Sonic, of course, has respect and recognizes people for their good deeds, emphasizing and crediting Shadow for helping save the world. He made the right decision after realizing what Maria really wanted, and should be remembered for that. Eggman's pondering over Gerald's intentions, I believe, is a good example of out-of-character behavior, expressing shock that this man he'd looked up to tried destroying the planet, as opposed to conquering it like the Doctor had attempted so many times. Tails, generic line aside, again tries to lift Eggman's spirits by injecting some positivity into the situation, which Eggman's willing to accept. Knuckles and Rouge have a bit of a conversation where he asks what she'll be up to next, trying to be nice as he did after their fight. Rouge responds by saying she may give up her work and that she's got something more important on the mind. Obviously she'd end up staying a spy, but I like that she's still thinking about that interaction they had too. In the moment, her lust is turned from gems to a certain Red Echidna, who of course, in typical Knuckles fashion, doesn't get the hint. Oh, that big old goof. Sonic, meanwhile, is left somberly thinking about Shadow's creation to himself. Amy's ability to perceive the feelings of others and her natural caring side drives her to try and help, asking him what's wrong. The blue blur dismisses the notion in an upbeat way, suggesting they go back home with his typical positive, energetic demeanor. I think this really says a lot about these two. Amy's demonstrating her sweet personality while Sonic's allowing himself a moment to feel a bit melancholic, but also seeing the need to show positive emotional strength to his friends so they can feel at ease after all they'd been through. A great demonstration that Sonic can feel negative emotions such as sadness and still be in character. At the door, he brings down that energy to bid Shadow a fond farewell, as the shot goes to the Ark slowly orbiting behind the Earth before it fades to black. What I love about this ending is, again, we don't often see reflection like this in Sonic. I've often said it before, but in this scene, there are no heroes, there are no villains. They're all people, relating to one another and trying to make some sense of what they'd just gone through. Everything from the scripting to that majestic piano piece, even some of the cinematography and those old school graphics make this, in my personal opinion, the best ending the Sonic franchise has ever had. Some like Unleashed, Black Knight, and Frontiers come close, but this right here takes the cake. What endings do you think are the best? Let me know in the comments. This one fills me with a hopeful feeling I can't really describe. It's downright beautiful, and will have a special place with me as long as I live. Thanks for watching. Feel free to let me know what you thought about the video in the comments. Give it a like if you liked it, or a dislike if you didn't. If you'd like to see more, subscribe and click the bell for notifications. It's free and you can opt out anytime. Here's a playlist with similar content, and my Twitter. I have been Skull902, thank you again for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Not knocking this part, but it really could have used a comma, just saying. Oh.